What's up, y'all? This is Dre with Bill 206, Bill 206 Media. We're here doing a podcast show called The Collective Network, tapping in with folks that are doing amazing work in the community so you guys can tap in with them and learn about what's going on. We wanted to highlight the great resilient work that's been going on in the community for decades. So I got one of my sisters in the movement. If you guys don't know who she is, you guys probably really ain't down with it. I'm gonna bring my sister on Ayan, and I see her back in the back studio, so we're gonna bring her on and have her join on and share some of the amazing work that she's doing and has been doing in the community. Hey, what's up, sister?
How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. Fighting the good fight, trying to keep things moving.
That's the only thing we can do in our community.
How are
Keep our
you?
heads high. Honestly, I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed. Blessed to see another day.
That's good to hear. So I want to jump in and ask you some questions about some of the stuff that you're doing. So the first question is really just tell folks about yourself, just who you are, how you got into the work, and just whatever you want to share.
As Andre said, my name is Ayan, and really I've been in community for longer than I care to admit. But the truth of the matter is I got blessed enough to go from one table to another because people just created opportunities for me and invited me to different tables. And with that, I was able to push different things in different ways. It's not, it's not something I take lightly because I do understand that many people don't get that opportunity. And so really that's who I am. I'm a mother, a sister, a caregiver in different levels. Yeah, I try my best to show up for community. And if I don't have the resources, I'm blessed enough to know that someone else in community does and just tap them in and connect people. Best way to describe me is a connector.
That's what's up. So you kind of started segueing into the next question about the work that you are doing or have done in the community. So if you want to share a little bit about some of the amazing work that you have done and are tapped in with, just so folks can get a breath of all the amazing stuff that you're tied in with.
Well, right now I'm sitting at SPP. We actually have a candidate, as most of you are aware, this year that's running, Nikita Oliver. I think it's City Council position 9. Yeah. We're actually also still endorsing other people. So if you're looking for endorsement for SPP, and you're really about that community, please tap in, ask for it. Also blessed enough to sit at King County Equity. Blessed enough to sit at the NAACP. I'm their housing chair, so I get a lot of opportunities to do work in the community for housing equity and stuff. As we speak, I'm part of a community group that's working on auto decline and really reevaluating how that's happening for our community and how it's affecting young people and getting them from the juvenile to the adult criminal justice system. We actually have an event coming up this Tuesday, I want to say at 6, and Trey will tap y'all on where it's a webinar that we're doing, and it's really an educational one, but he'll put in the flyer and stuff a little later for you guys. We really want community input on this. This is a beginning of a campaign. Right now, who's at the table is King County Equity, Creative Justice 180, Pacific Islander Village. If you're on there and I forgot you, I apologize. There's too many for me to remember, to be honest. If you go to our website, though, which will have once he puts up the flyer, you'll see that and stuff. They'll tell you who and we're still trying to build with community and trying to ask for more people to support it. Again, this is just the beginning conversation because we are seeing it, the inequities in it, and we are asking for certain demands, which really is to reevaluate. And we're taking it as far as to the governor's table, inshallah, God willing. Yeah, it's an election year. It's a good year for us as a Black people. So turning it over.
So for folks that don't know, can you share a little bit about what SPP is and what it's about, and where it came from and all that for folks that don't know? And I think you also highlighted the village. Just for folks that don't know, I mean, folks that are tapped in know, but I think just for folks that may want to get tapped in and support those, can you elaborate a little bit more about the amazing stuff that they're doing and what their focus is?
So SPP is Seattle People's Party, and I mean, there's a lot of organizers that are at that table, but really it's also a political push and a political campaign in the sense of we want to make sure that our voices is also at the table politically. So when we really brought it together, it was really to run one candidate, but then eventually we did take it further and decide it is bigger than just that one platform of trying to run somebody, but it is us as an organizing body also showing that we do have a political pull. So that's really what SPP, it's a lot of grassroots community members that are sitting at the table trying to push for a political agenda to make sure our voice is at the table. It's understanding that the Democrats haven't spoken for the majority of us. Neither has the Republican, never has represented us. So it's to give
What's up, y'all? This is Dre with Build 206, Build 206 Media. We're here doing a podcast show called The Collective Network, tapping in with folks that are doing amazing work in the community, so you guys can tap in with them and learn about what's going on. We wanted to highlight the great resilient work that's been going on in the community for decades. So I got one of my sisters in the movement. If you guys don't know who she is, you guys probably really ain't down with it. I'm going to bring my sister on, Ayan, and I see her back in the back studio. So we're going to bring her on and have her join on and share some of the amazing work that she's doing and has been doing in the community. Hey, what's up, sister?
How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. Fighting the good fight, trying to keep things moving.
That's the only thing we can do in our community.
How are
Keep
you?
our heads high. Honestly, I'm good. I'm blessed. Blessed to see another day.
That's good to hear. So I want to jump in and ask you some questions about some of the stuff that you're doing. So the first question is really just tell folks about yourself, just, who you are, how you got into the work, and, just whatever you want to share,
As Andre said, my name is Ayan, and really I've been in community for longer than I care to admit. But the truth of the matter is, I got blessed enough to go from one table to another because people just created opportunities for me and invited me to different tables. And with that, I was able to push different things in different ways. It's not, it's not something I take lightly because I do understand that many people don't get that opportunity. And so really that's who I am. I'm a mother, a sister, a caregiver in different levels. Yeah, I try my best to show up for community. And if I don't have the resources, I'm blessed enough to know that someone else in community does and just tap them in and connect people. Best way to describe me is a connector.
That's what's up. So you kind of started segueing into the next question about, the work that you are doing or have done in the community. So if you want to share a little bit about some of the amazing work that you have done and are tapped in with, just so folks can get a breath of all the amazing stuff that you're tied in with.
Well, right now I'm sitting at SPP. We actually have a candidate, as most of you are aware, this year that's running, Nikita Oliver. I think it's City Council position 9. Yeah. We're actually also still endorsing other people. So if you're looking for endorsement for SPP, and you're really about that community, please tap in, ask for it. Also blessed enough to sit at King County Equity. Blessed enough to sit at the NAACP. I'm their housing chair, so I get a lot of opportunities to do work in the community for housing equity and stuff. As we speak, I'm part of a community group that's working on auto decline and really reevaluating how that's happening for our community and how it's affecting young people and getting them from the juvenile to the adult criminal justice system. We actually have an event coming up this Tuesday, I want to say at 6, and Trey will tap y'all on where it's a webinar that we're doing, and it's really an educational one, but he'll put in the flyer and stuff a little later for you guys. We really want community input on this. This is a beginning of a campaign. Right now, who's at the table is King County Equity, Creative Justice 180, Pacific Islander Village. If you're on there and I forgot you, I apologize. There's too many for me to remember, to be honest. If you go to our website, though, which will have once he puts up the flyer, you'll see that and stuff. They'll tell you who and we're still trying to build with community and trying to ask for more people to support it. Again, this is just the beginning conversation because we are seeing the inequities in it, and we are asking for certain demands, which really is to reevaluate, and we're taking it as far as to the governor's table, inshallah, God willing. Yeah, it's an election year. It's a good year for us as a Black people. So turning it over.
So for folks that don't know, can you share a little bit about what SPP is and what it's about and, where it came from and all that for folks that don't know? And I think you also highlighted the village. Just for folks that don't know, I mean, folks that are tapped in know, but I think just for folks that may want to get tapped in and support those, can you elaborate a little bit more about the amazing stuff that they're doing and what their focus is?
So SPP is Seattle People's Party, and I mean, there's a lot of organizers that are at that table, but really it's also a political push and a political campaign in the sense of we want to make sure that our voices is also at the table politically. So when we really brought it together, it was really to run one candidate. But then eventually we did take it further and decide it is bigger than just that one platform of trying to run somebody, but it is us as an organizing body also showing that we do have a political pull. So that's really what SPP, it's a lot of grassroots community members that are sitting at the table trying to push for a political agenda to make sure our voice is at the table. It's understanding that the Democrats haven't spoken for the majority of us. Neither has the Republican, never has represented us. So it's to give an alternative table to make it quite clear. And the truth is, whether it's the Green Party or so many of us haven't really understood all these other groups. So this was one that we try to bring together our collective understanding, and it's looking at a lot of the grassroots values as we were putting it together. As far as the village, oh, that's home for me. It started out at Freedom Church. It was birthed out of the Freedom Church, but it's now located in White Center. It was located in White Center until COVID sort of happened. And now we got lots and lots and lots of Zooms on Wednesdays. It is community-led, community ideology. It really has the People's Institute values and principles. It was really designed and brought together for community organizers that were doing work in the prison. And it's not a social services kind of thing. It is really organizers. So we believe that everybody has something to contribute, even the brother that just got out, even the sister that just got out. We don't hand out anything. Well, we do and we don't. It's not a handout. It's really being inclusive and bringing you in. So even if you get some kind of support from us, you get it as a community, but it's also with the understanding that you're part of the community, so you got something to give too. So if even people that call in, we have brothers from BBC calling in and stuff regularly to the meetings and stuff.
Yeah, and that's real, in my opinion. Hats off to the Village of Hope, real community organizing, right? Everybody has a voice. There's no big I, little U's, and like the service provider, sometimes, there's a lot of resources out there to provide services, but that's not really solving the problem. It hasn't really moved the needle. So if you can get people engaged and build their self-esteem and their resiliency and relationships so they can navigate, and also so they can help other people navigate, you also want to get them the tools that they need to pass on to others. So the work that the Village has been doing in the town for a long time has been amazing, not just for folks that are, in turmoil, but just for average folks that are trying to navigate life. It's just like a family in a community. So it's hats off to all the folks that are involved in that work, and the People's Party. Like I said, having a real alternative for Black folks and people of color. BIPOC is a new hot term right now. So
yeah,
you guys it's really led by those folks, really led by folks that are on the ground and not necessarily trying to have somebody else say what our issues are. We can actually, have our own political agenda. So that's dope too. So I just wanted you to elaborate on those, because I know the amazing work that they're doing and where they come from. So I just wanted folks to get a little bit more of a breath and just get the acronym, or just to go out there, because it's deeper than deep. So I appreciate you.
That's real. I appreciate you asking for it.
Yeah, for sure.
While we're talking about candidates, though, I just realized there's a good couple of people in our community that are running, and I really want to make sure that we give a shout out to Hamdi, to Shukri, to Don Bennett. These are people who have been always in community doing different things in different ways. And I really want to highlight that there are people that look like us, came from these communities, that are moving and shaking and trying to uplift. So it's important that we not only support them. Kim, who actually is in Renton, Kim Van, and first year candidate last like a couple of years ago. Yeah, I think it was like a year ago when she got on it, and you could see a lot of the things that she tried to move. So it's important that we support community members that are either sat at those tables and are trying to push it even more further and are going for other positions, or folks that are coming in for the first time. It's
Right.
really, really important.
Well, I appreciate you highlighting those names. So you guys make sure you guys look those folks up, see what they're tapped in, see what their agenda is, add to their agenda, volunteer, help out. So that's really how things really happen. People got to get involved. We're waiting for somebody else to save our problems. Like, it ain't gonna happen. So, get tapped in, and that's really what this show is about. Is so you guys can be made aware of all the amazing stuff, and we ain't got to recreate the wheel. There's a lot of amazing stuff going on. So how can you plug in and grow and add? So the next question, which kind of ties into what we already been talking about, but it's more like on a personal level. It's like, who or what inspires you and why?
I think honestly, it's people like Dr. Mims. When you see Dr. Mims, when you see the Mary Flowers, when you see Janet Preston, it's folks that have always been uplifting us, been there, doing it, and still doing it with us. I think it's easy. I sometimes laugh at the younger generation. Auntie, I'm tired. Okay, I am too, boo. I think as Black people, we have to understand that to take a step back sometimes for health reasons, but understand that our struggle, unfortunately, in this country isn't going to be done very easily. I don't know if it's going to be done in my lifetime or my children's lifetime. I pray to God, though, that my great-grandchildren at least have a better outcome than we did. So with that understanding, it's taking a breath back as we do it, but also understanding that there are people that have done it before us, whose shoulders we stand on, and who are still with us doing it. I mean, when you look at Dr. Mims, that would be actually someone I would encourage you guys to invite to this broadcast. But more importantly, if you don't know Dr. Mims, please get to know her, because that is a legacy holder in so many levels. Invite Miss Flowers, invite Miss Janet Preston. People that don't know these people, please tap them in. They've been in the schools, they've been in the city, they're the reason that we get to be able to do the work that we do in different ways.
Yeah, and it's great that you brought the power that Black women have and the work that Black women have done in our community. Because as you know, Brothers United Leadership Development is focused on issues that impact Black men and boys, but we also understand the intersectionality that a lot of our issues are really impacting our women as well as others, right? You know what I mean? So with that, this year, we planned on doing it last year, but the Rona swapped it up. So this year, we're going to do a Mother's Day event where we're going to honor, and Mary Flowers is one of the people that we're going to honor. We're reaching out to some other women right now to make sure that they're able to be part of the event. So
Marsha Aronga, do not let me forget her. Dr. Aronga.
Right.
Yes, please invite her because she is doing such phenomenal work in the Tacoma area she's really uplifted Dr. Mims' school, a school that was really started by a Black woman, Black elder in her kitchen table.
Right.
That school went from being 2 years to 4 years degree now. So it's important too, if you want to go to school and you haven't, tap in with her. She's getting everybody in school somehow.
Yes, doing amazing work. And everybody's tapped in across, that's the thing, is our workout is spread out. So they're in, Pierce County, but they also tap in King County and Seattle. So we all regional, a lot of regional stuff going on. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to doing our Mother's Day event where we can uplift and highlight the resiliency and the strength of Black women that have been the backbone of our community by choice and by default, by choice and by default, systematic, exclusion. So we're excited, really happy to do that. It's as hard as, like planning for events. Like right now, you got to plan for like 3 different options: in person, like a hybrid, and then like a virtual.
I know.
So, but But it's all good, man. We're going to do it for the love of the folks. So we're going to, make sure that we're bringing people together. And we're very similar to the Bills. Like, we're not service providers. We're more about bringing people
I
together,
know.
creating safe space. Let's make sure how can we be together and build relationships and heal and be resilient, and as well as, just walking our walk, right? So
I appreciate the work that you've done, because I don't think we don't get these chances with one another, and we don't actually say thank you. So thank you, Andre. Thank you for all the work that you've done for years. Thank you for continuing to stand with young people. Thank you for everything that you're doing, because the truth of the matter is, almost every corner I turn, I see you. And you don't get the respect that's due many times, because you play I'm going to do it from the back, which is a beautiful, humbling thing. Many people don't even realize how many things you're connected to. So I'm just thankful.
yeah, I appreciate that. And just as we met in community, like, I got a great community around me. I definitely can't do it myself, but I definitely appreciate it. That's why I'm trying to do these types of shows, to highlight the amazing work that folks are doing, that people just ain't tapped in, and just for the love. Like, people ain't doing it for the bars and stars. People are actually doing it because this is in them, not on them. So I appreciate it. And, my thanks is, like I said, trying to help these young folks, trying to help adults, helping me, like, just being able to be tapped in with folks like you and other people, Mary and John Page and Larry Evans and those types of folks. Be able to call and get that good game, hey, I'm going through this, and you ain't got to, like, hide who you are. You can just be really real, and they're gonna point you in the right direction. So it's been beneficial for me through my trials and tribulations and processes as well. But so I appreciate the kudos. I appreciate the shout out, and, like, I agree. We do need to create more space, and that's the problem. Is there's not a lot of resources for Black folks or folks of color to really sit down and break bread and build relationships. It's all about the service provision. How are we going to fix broken people? People
when ain't nothing broken about us.
We ain't broken, and we ain't the problem. The system is working the way it's supposed to work.
Exactly.
So that's the piece. Really excited. That's why we do our events and stuff like that. How can we break bread? How can we hang out with each other? How can we? And it's even more important in the face of gentrification. Like, we're being spread all over the place wherever we can afford. We're not even in the same neighborhoods like we used to be. So,
yeah.
So transitioning, like, what do you think? This is you can answer however you want, but, like, over the last year, like, what do you think of everything that's gone on during that time? Like, it's.
I mean, we've been in the streets. We did so many things. You would think that things could get better, but the truth of the matter is, it's an interesting time we're living in, because folks are almost like, oh, well, we got rid of Trump, so things are better, right? But we got a VP that's a prosecutor. It was, for me, it was, who of the evil did you pick? I don't see our presidential election as a real win, which tells me we got a whole lot of work to do across state, across country. And anybody that thinks that we won anything isn't living the life we're living. And that's the reality of it. The system is working exactly the way it's supposed to. So now it's our time to, like, continue to disrupt it. What was started, at least for European Americans, because that was always our issue. There is always us in it. But for European Americans, what was started was a dot. For the rest of us, it's our life. So I'm glad that you started the dot with me. Continue dotting it, because you can check out. I can't. Andre can't. Many of our children cannot. So if you felt even the little dot and that brought you out, continue. Get that same energy throughout now. There should be no reason that your season is done, because the truth is, for the rest of us, we don't have a season that we get to sit back and go home. Which is another reason why I was naming people that are running in our communities. It's a little season that they're trying to give us. They think that if we get these positions, that's going to be the answer. The truth is, every one of them that's running knows that that's just a little checkpoint. of maybe bringing our voice to the table, but they also understand we got to systematically change everything. They're going to be sitting with some cats that don't understand them on any level, even if we elect them. So how do we support people even after we elect them? Invite Gurmai, because I'm going to be honest, I was one of the hardest candidates on that brother, but he surprised the hell out of me. I'm an advocate for him now, because for somebody I didn't know, he definitely showed up and showed out in a way that I didn't anticipate. So I'm thankful for the brother. But more importantly, we have to lift up people as they're sitting in those positions and keep in mind that they're the only person. So how do we support them in that position? And how do we make sure that we bring others and get some of these daggone white cats that have been sitting there forever? Right. How you get to sit there for 16 years? Something wrong with that. And some of them truly have.
Yeah, and I appreciate your analysis just in general, just about what's happened over the past years. Like, this is not new to people of color, right? Like, this is our lives. And so whatever got, folks, if people got involved, and it's just, like I said, an opportunity, even with, Councilmember Gurmai, you were saying, like, not knowing him, and everybody gets involved at some point. Everybody, starts the game at some point. So we got to be open to accepting new folks into the movement. But it's how do we onboard them? Like, how do we onboard the process to say it's really about the relationship? Because sometimes people are being onboarded, or they're onboarding folks on some hustle, or it's about the money, or, it's about all, just playing the game and doing the dance and not really trying to move the needle. A lot of folks that are really with it are really trying to move the needle and make the world a better place for our kids and our grandkids and our great grandkids and all that good, and everybody else's kids too. So, but I think as part of the onboarding process, some people are lacing people up with the wrong game, as you're aware, as you're aware. Yeah. So I think, but we also can't be exclusive. We can't, otherwise we're just a clique like everybody else. We got to be able to make room. And I appreciate you even saying, like, I was the hardest cat on this brother, and he's shown me that he's with it, and how can we support this brother now? You know what I'm saying? So we got to be open to that, because sometimes sometimes you're not with the clique, and it's like it's exclusive. Yeah, you miss out. Yeah, you're missing out on great opportunities, great resources, great relationships, so on and so forth. So I appreciate, and I love your analysis, like I said, around everything that you said around what you thought about this past year, which kind of transitions us into our next topic is, this really trendy for people to talk about self-care, self-love, taking time for yourself. And you hinted on this a little bit, like if people are having health issues or whatever, or people are tired. So I really want to hear, like, what type of strategies, or what have you done to take care of yourself during this time?
Wow. You put me on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's one I'm struggling with. It wasn't taught to me, and I just have to own that. Y'all remember all those elders that I shouted out? The truth is, the Mary Flowers, they good, but that's not their field. That's not their thing. They're learning it now at this age. Miss Janet is better. Dr. Kim Richards always showed that elegance and try to model it. But a lot of our elders have not modeled it. My own mother hadn't modeled it for me. Forget people within the movement. And if I'm going to be honest, my aunt was one of the biggest people that brought me into the movement and started even carrying me into meetings and community at a very early age. And she didn't know nothing about it. And I'm now watching her deal with her health issues. So how do we do it better so that the next generation that's watching me, the others, the Nuras, I do better for? I'm struggling, honest, but then I got the bonus in the younger ones looking and making sure that, Auntie, go take that time out, go do this, go get some massage. The younger ones are really critiquing me on that one and sort of trying to model it for me. Get some therapy, Auntie, you're gonna need it. Black women don't know nothing about no therapy, but we're learning it. So yeah, I got some young people that are trying to give me life in a different way and set up some stuff and even send the therapist my way. send the healthcare my way. Go get that massage that you need. And I'm so thankful. That's the other piece, bro. We have to be able to learn intergenerationally from one another. There's some stuff that they're really like better at it. Allow them to teach you what they're better at. Sorry, you were trying to say something.
That's all good. Isaiah, just on that piece, my guy Isaiah, brother Isaiah, he says you're either a teacher or a student. You're either learning something or you're teaching somebody, no matter what the situation is, right? So you got to be open to it. Like, people think that because you're of age or you've been involved for so long that you got all the game, like you're missing some key gems that people could be dropping on you. And I appreciate you being transparent and honest and saying that, because I feel the same way. Like, I could do a lot better in taking care of myself. Sometimes it's go on the gas, right? Even last year I made my son moved his room upstairs. So I made this whole meditation and self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Then when COVID came, it ended up being storage. It turned into storage, right? To set the studio up to do more virtual type, events and programs and stuff. But I have been, in the last month or so, like this, doing push-ups, going on walks. So that's something, if you want to go on a walk, we can go on a walk and talk, schedule a date, you know what I'm saying? And
I am game.
And if we can get some other people involved.
I was trying to do that just this weekend. If I didn't have to do all these Zooms, like after this one, another Zoom, I'm serious. That was one of the things. I'm telling you, younger people are more encouraging by forcing some of the people like me and you into doing it. You've already sort of started it by doing the walks. I'm game. Take me up on it. Stay on me though.
Yeah, I just think
I am one that'll do that later.
Yeah, I just think we got to put some of the same energy around organizing to change the system to organize to change our health, right? Because if we
only
don't
get one body.
Right, man. If we don't, and retirement and all that. So if our life expectancies is shorter, then we're not really going to get to retire and enjoy the golden years. So I'll definitely be tapping in and seeing how we can work to organize some. If it's, hey, we got some resources, let's get everybody massages, let's get some people some acupuncture, some meditation, and build those relationships. So I'll definitely tap you on and hold me accountable too. Like same thing. Like I serve the juice, but I'm working on drinking it. I'm trying, but I know I got to do it. You know what I mean? Because if I don't, then it's just it'll eat us up on the inside, and we're calm on the outside like the ocean, but underneath there's a bunch of storms, and that's how your health gets diminished, right? So I appreciate you being real and honest with that, because it's real. That's what it is. Like we haven't been shown it, and the issues are so important that we just want to go until we solve the problem. But I was talking to the young brother Ed and kind of told him, like, look, man, all these isms, if you take a week or two off, all these isms are going to be here.
They're still going to be there.
Yeah. So you here or not, like, just take time to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And I had to tell myself that too. It's like, man, I got to do this, I got to do that. But realistically, like, if you're not taking care of yourself, you ain't going to be here, and things are just going to keep moving the way they've been moving. So I'm definitely looking forward to tapping in with you on some of that. And this is kind of a transition to the next question is, what advice would you give someone looking to get involved in community work?
Just come in. I think sometimes people think that you have to do this big old thing. You don't. You just got to show up in community. We will tap you into some work. We always got 10 million work to tap you into. And it's not, if any of the stuff could be solved, it would have been solved long ago. So don't go for big campaigns or thinking that we're going to effectively do this change. Change happens very slow, especially with passive aggressive Seattle. The whole state is interesting. So it being that, please come, join anything that you want. Do not fear it. Just come to the table. People will put you to work. People will ask you, can you step in here? Can you step in? You know what you want to get out of it and you want to gain, but come as you are, and come to not only learn, but to give of yourself, give of your time, and come with the right purpose. Don't come thinking that we're going to give awards or this, or you're going to be recognized. They know we don't have time for that. Real organizers will, we push you out real quick if we even see that kind of game. So come as you are and really come for the right reasons. Expect to grow, expect to be checked, expect to teach. But it's not that hard. Just come to any table. I guarantee you somebody's gonna put you to work.
Yeah, and in the words of the great Tupac, it's I may not be the one to change the world, but I may be the one to spark somebody. It's really about putting the
That's
pebble in the
right.
pond and letting the ripples go. Or Nipsey, the marathon continues. Like this isn't a race, it's a marathon. And we got to have people ready and willing to go and to pass the torch to. So I mean, it's like you said, things aren't just going to change just because somebody gets elected or some measure gets passed
Mhm.
or whatever. That's not going to change people's thought processes or policies or procedures or even practices, which are the most dangerous thing. It don't necessarily be the policy. We got good progressive laws. It's how they're being implemented. The practice of
Thank you.
them being implemented is what does people dirty. And that's really about how people think and how they perceive and the little bubbles that JP says. If we can see
Mhm.
everybody bubble what they're thinking, that's what really needs to change, which takes time, and we got to stay on the gas, but we got to get more people on the gas so that way people can come off the gas and go on cruise control. And then when it's time to get back in the fast lane, make things happen. So you talked about a lot of amazing things, amazing orgs. Do you have any?
Connect with Lamont Green. He does a lot of the lived experience work. And while we're on that, the regional person that they just hired for King County um, homelessness is Mark Duns. And honestly, tap with him because he's going to need some support. Um, they are already eyeing it. Like the first person that was given that position kind of sort of backed up. It was a Black woman. Both of them are brilliant, and have actually done work in the community on the homeless stuff. But because both candidates were Black, folks are already talking. Because honestly, the homeless collectives, I call it the white girl mafia, and they really are white girl mafia.
Right.
It's very closed. And here comes two people that became top candidates. So he is going to have to hit the road running, but he has done a lot of work in our state. He's coming from East Coast, but he has done work here. He worked as a consultant before doing a lot of this work. So it's important that you connect him to the table and invite him so that he has other Black men that he can look to and get support from. But more importantly, we cannot get our people anymore in any of these positions and expect them to move stuff without any of us being right there to not only uplift them and support them, but to also have these uncomfortable conversations of, come on, let's really have a conversation about how this policy is going to affect us.
Right.
And especially homelessness. Look around you. That's us.
Right.
Anywhere that you drive in Washington now, that is us. That is, it's beyond that.
And the data don't lie. The data is there to support what you're saying. So yeah, I'll definitely be tapping in with you to make some connections with folks who you spotlighted already, so we can get them on the show and get them involved in what we got going on, and we can get involved in what they're going and highlight. That's really how do we connect? Like I said, being the connector. I'm all for how do we share the resources that we have to better impact and create a community where we all can thrive. So before we end, do you have any questions for me? I always like to give people an opportunity to ask me questions, so it's not just me asking, putting people on the hot seat.
I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that you're still doing what you're doing. I'm thankful that Built is really still around to build in with us. But I also really want to be honest and say, what do you need from us? What does Built need from us? Because many times we come and we just take from people and come into their platform, but we're not asking the right. So how do I support you? But more importantly, how do community supports you? What do you need?
So I think just making sure that people are tapped in. like I said, if I tap in and say, hey, who do you refer, make the connection to get people on the platform so we can just continue to uplift our voices, come to our events, volunteer, and vice versa. If you guys, people need support, just reach out. Like we're all, and that's really where the relationship piece comes, because as you know, like if you got a relationship with somebody call, you're more apt to answer the phone and let it go to voicemail.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So just continue to build relationships with the team and just in community, and kind of, move with the core values that you and I have been installed with the community work. Just continue to move like that, because that's going to support us and, the village and other folks that have those same core values. So I think that's what it is, we got the nonprofit now, so people want to make a tax deductible donation, go to our website and do that. But we're not even off that. You know what I mean? Like, it's more about just doing the work and, and people tapping in, volunteering.
Oh, I'm going to actually tap you in one thing. So I'm going to take you up on that nonprofit. We're doing a big give big black. Gathering Roots has put together a collective. So email me in regards to that, and I'll connect you. There's this website that's being designed and stuff, and it's really to give an opportunity to Black-led orgs that are grassroots and stuff, so that they get that option of getting theirs first tapped in. So it's Give Black, really.
For sure. I'll shoot you an email. Like I said, we're going to tap in anyways, talk about how we're going to go on a walk. And while we're on that walk, I'm sure we'll be doing some community organizing, because that's how it happens, right? We're in space each other. We're talking it up, and we'll share some stories, and then we'll talk about how can we collab on stuff. So I'll definitely be in touch with you, and I love you. I appreciate
you too.
We've been in community for, over 20 seasons to go. I'm about to be 40 in June, so that's a big milestone.
Yes.
So, like I said, I appreciate the work that you've done, being side by side in the trenches with you numerous times, and just the same energy. You got the same energy that you had when I first met you. People know when Ayan come, they know what it is, man. There ain't no filters. It's like, this is the same person.
That's real.
Environment. That's what it got to be. We got to be who we are, no matter where we're at. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time coming on and sharing what you're doing, the amazing work you're doing. I'm looking forward to tapping in and using you as a convener and a connector to help us convene and connect more folks to the resiliency and the brilliance that we have thriving in our Black communities that may not be tapped into.
Yes. Thank you.
So have a wonderful day. I'll be in touch very soon. All right.
Okay.
All right. Peace. Once again, this is Dre with Build 206 Media. And you heard that sister, she's tapped in the many things. So I'm looking forward to working with her and other folks, to continue this work going. And this show is called The Collective Network, to really share the amazing work that's going on in the community. So make sure that you guys stay tapped in, see what's going on, get involved, and make some things happen. All right, y'all. Peace.